Shot. He scores! And the Ballers win! Helena is no longer undefeated!
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Barons win! Barons win!
Cody Janzen stopped 92 out of 95 shots, including a penalty shot in overtime. Somehow he still only wound up the third star of the game.
You like that?
Janzen has a heart.
You're smoking crack!
No MLB? No problem. We got hockey to talk about. It's Cody Janzen, World Hockey Report. We are coming to you live on 12 Ounce Sports and the Hockey Podcast Network. Say what's up. Jump in the chat right now. Join the conversation anytime because we got a lot to talk about. Coming up on the show today, we'll get to your questions right away. Jacob's in Vegas for the Cup. Well, hey, I'm sure I got a few things to say about that. Michael Leighton, former NHLer, coming up in about, let's say, 15 minutes time. And then we'll catch up with Darryl Wolski from 2112 Hockey Agency, KHL player agent. Dylan's in the chat, says, Janner, what's up, Dylan? What's up, Isha? City Life Project, shout out. I mean, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk hockey. You know, there's a lot going on in the world, and as someone who is lucky enough to work in sports and the medicine game of lacrosse, I feel that's a big step forward in healing from everything that's going on in the world. Hockey's that second escape for me. So getting to talk hockey with you guys, we're going to do it all for the next hour or so on the Hockey Podcast Network in 12 Ounce Sports. Be sure to shout out Quack Stats, about most advanced player tracking technology. Go check them out today, and be sure to use DraftKings promo code THPN if you're hopping on DraftKings. Daily fantasy, NFL, NBA, I guess no NFL, NHL, anything you got. Punch in promo code THPN on DraftKings. It's Cody Janzen coming to you live from the Pro Rock Broadcast Studios today. Mark Yates says CHL hasn't made a decision regarding Russia, Belarusian players. False alarm by Milstein on Twitter. Wow, Mark, I haven't seen that yet, but if you're breaking some news, we appreciate that, buddy. I know, Mark was one of the guys who we had talked to, and I'm glad you're in the chat early here, Mark, because I'm curious. And we'll just let the conversation flow. We'll break down all the news of the day. But I'm curious to know what people are thinking of Ovechkin's comments towards Russia, his relationship with Vladimir Putin, and other Russians who maybe haven't spoke up. Even Milstein. Are they needing more security? Is it unsafe for them to play right now? I don't know. I'm interested. It's an open conversation here, guys. I'm not going to yell and scream and call people idiots. I'm actually generally curious, and that's one of the things, Michael Leighton, he was able to play in Ukraine for a season. He got to experience the culture. So I'll ask him about that. And it's not something where, you want to be poking the bear. You don't want to get someone in trouble, get them in hot water. But it's an interesting conversation. It's one that should be talked about at a time like this. Jacob says, Ovi and all Russian players going to be kicked out of the NHL. I don't think the NHL would be the ones to kick him out, Jacob, and my thoughts personally, and I've discussed this, we'll get into a little bit later on when we do talk CHL import ban, potential ban, is that if anyone has a say of it, it will be on the federal level, where it's the Canadian or the American government saying, all right, no more work visas, no more visas at all for Russian or Belarusians until this situation gets sorted out. And right there, if that means all of theirs are canceled, well, I'm sorry, that's your Ovechkins. That's your, that's the Russian players, the Belarusian. I don't know if there's really many Belarusians. I think New Jersey's got the Sharon Govich. I think it's Sharon Govich. There's not a ton, but I don't think it would be the NHL to kick him out. I think it would come down to a federal ruling. And again, guys, don't get me started on that because I have zero clue about any of those actual rules. Yeah, Jacob, not letting them play, that's essentially what I'm saying is like, hey, if you, I don't think the NHL is going to be like, all right, no dressing Russian players tomorrow. No, they're not going to do that. But if all of a sudden their work visas get revoked because Trudeau or Biden say so, those are kind of rules you do have to follow. All right, let's quickly break down the scores from last night. Well, the ones that we even care about. Edmonton over Philly, 3-0. Are they a low-key wagon again? Koskinen seems to be heating up, and the Flames crushed the Minnesota Wild. Sorry, Soda Pod, the Wild suck. They're overrated. They're just, I don't know. How can you be a Wild fan right now? You got one good player. Just a couple of shots, 10K takes. They know we love them. Soda Pod as well. State of Hoppy's the absolute best. Other scores in the league, Tampa beats Ottawa 5-2. The Sens, I mean, they've got 19 wins. It's pretty much a victorious season for that dumpster fire. They don't have anything good outside of Stützle and Tkachuk coming up. Columbus 4-3 over New Jersey. Man, this is one. I got to stop it here. We got to stop the news. Everyone bitching and whining on social media. Oh, 2 females on the call. Oh, Leah Hextall, I can't stand it. Shut up. She's in her first season calling NHL games. You think everyone's perfect in their first season? No, but because most people in their first season aren't calling it on one of the biggest sports platforms of all time, they don't get called out to that exposure. No, they're calling it for their local radio station. Leah Hextall, it's not even thrown into the fire. She's earned every bit of it. She knows more hockey than I'll ever she's forgotten more hockey than I'll ever know. And I got to get that saying right. But like, come on, everyone's just losing their mind over it. What are we, halfway through the season, 3/4 of the way through the season? And everyone's just freaking out. Shut up. She's doing a fine job. Detroit beats Carolina 4-3. Wasn't it like the 0-2 Stanley Cup? Carolina. Big time wagon loses against Detroit. Winnipeg, they were up 4-cap on Montreal. They blow that and they end up winning 8-4. That's a pretty wild game. Colorado beats the Islanders 5-3. I seen we had Colorado fans. Nice saying there, Ricky Jenner. Oh boy, the Soda Pod. Good thing he missed my Minnesota rant. And hey, I'm not one for sayings. I'm not a cliche. I'm not a quote guy. I don't even know. I just talk hockey. That's all I do here. Colorado. I seen Colorado fans in our mentions again on World Hockey Report. And everyone goes, oh, why don't you reply to us? Why don't you reply to this now? It's like, shut up. We get hundreds and hundreds of notifications a day. I'm sorry we missed your comment because you've got 5 followers. Give us a break here. Colorado, you just beat the New York Islanders, one of the most disappointing teams of the season. Jacob says, go VGK. Well, hey, they beat San Jose 3-1. We'll give them some credit. Anaheim beats Boston 4-3. Saw that one got a little bit heated there in Anaheim. Riley Smith had a pair of tucks. Marcia Show 2 assists. Carlson 2 assists as well. Guys, I mean, Soda Pot, I need your thoughts on the Wild right now. They've just been getting clapped by the Flames. That's Avs suck. They be paying their refs. Yeah, Jacob, hey, I'm not going to confirm or deny that. I don't know. They got a decent team, but I still don't trust their defense come playoff time, come in a late run. And it's, I don't know, it's not similar to Vegas in a sense, but like I've got more faith in Darcy Kemper than Robin Lehner. There, I said it. You know, people are not going to be happy about that, but when I think of Vegas in the playoffs, if they're fully healthy up front, they're going to be an absolute wagon. Where it comes to play is if Robin Lehner can't put together a consistent 3, 4, 5 weeks, I don't see them, getting out of the second round. I mean, maybe I am crazy, but I'll take Darcy Kemper 8 days a week and twice on Sunday. I'll just take him over Robin Lehner, and I'll stick with that. Also, Mikko Koskinen, I wanted to get to this. I think I screenshotted it. It's a crazy statistic. This comes from Brian Swain. You can follow him on Twitter at Brian Swain. Since the 2-11-2 slump, the Oilers have gone 12-5-1 since then. Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith, they've each had 8 starts in that span. Those starts, Koskinen 7-0-1, 2.19 goals against average on a 9.34 save percentage. Smith 3-5 with a 3.35 goals against average on an 8.89 save percentage. Soda Pod, while a great team, not a contender yet, few holes to plug. Coaching still new at the NHL. I agree with the coaching aspect. I agree with that. I mean, are they a great team right now? You can't be great and not a contender because then it just demises the term great. You're a good team. You've got a good couple of players. You're not great. Dylan, you can get a toque. We usually do like Winter World Junior drops of special merchandise. We don't have an actual store. Shout out me for not setting anything like that up. We just order in a bunch and then go and sell them on social media. Fire Pete. So yeah, Dylan, we'll drop them eventually. They're sharp. We've had some t-shirts, hoodies, a little bit of everything. World Hockey Report. We are the most unorganized organization out there. And quick, back to the Minnesota Wild. Oh, my goodness. It's 12-16 already. I think they're a good team. I think they've got good pieces. They're not a great team. They're not a playoff contender. Do I think they can win a round this year? Yeah, they could. 4 lines deep. Tiers go bad, good, great, elite. No, elite is not in that conversation. There's 3 tiers. You're either great, you're good, or you're bad. There's no okay, there's no elite. It's like saying 110%. And now State of Hoppy's got me all sorts of riled up. You can't give 110%. That's stupid. That's idiotic. The most you can give is 100%. You can't be better than great. If you're great, you're the great one. They don't call him the elite one, Soda Pod. Figure it out. Okay, I got a few more things I got to get to. I seen this today from Elliot Friedman, and he says that Vancouver players are sick of all the trade rumors. You're sick of trade rumors? Get off Twitter. Put your phone away. Read a book. Don't worry about what the stupid media says in Vancouver. They don't care. What do they want? They want attention. That's what all media wants. So if you're a player complaining about, oh, I'm sick of these trade rumors, cry me a river. Hoolum you, because Wayne is not the GOAT. Not even close. Hey, that's a controversial take, but again, they still call Wayne the great one. They don't call him the elite one, and neither do they call Mario the elite one. And also, Vancouver players, if you're sick of trade rumors, I don't know. Don't play in Vancouver. Ask for a trade. They should be numb to this. I think they should be numb to this all by now. I mean, Vancouver media, everyone knows exactly what they are. They can't be happy. The town can't be happy. I mean, they try to burn it down after you lose a Stanley Cup final against the best Boston Bruins goaltender of all time. Okay, quickly. We do have to touch on this, the CHL import ban, and it did come to our attention that it might be a false alarm. Mark threw that one out there. I haven't seen any official confirmation here. I'm trying to scroll through Twitter as we do. Again, if someone sees it, just let us know the news. Join the conversation anytime. We obviously appreciate that. Our message requests are going off right now. I mean, people got to chill. Oh, my goodness. So, the CHL import ban. There's multiple people that run World Hockey Report. It's no surprise anyone with half a brain who's followed us for more than a day would understand that there's multiple takes being coming out from the multiple members that are on the account. So Adam says, hey, you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind the imports being allowed to play. I don't think that that's the right move, which is fair. Again, Adam knows the junior hockey world inside and out. You can't argue with him on that sense. He knows more about junior hockey than I could find on the internet right now in the next hour. But from my perspective, for a guy like Dan Milstein, I don't know. You guys know who I'm talking about when I just say Dan. So we'll stick with Dan. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say Dan is, he's throwing a fit. He's complaining. He's got his issues with this and that. My perspective is there's bigger things in the world. There's innocent Ukrainian people dying. There's innocent Russian people dying because of this war. It's senseless. And so for you to be worried about that when not saying, not speaking up against war, it's such a selfish look in my opinion. Like, I don't know. And again, I put that out. And so then some people want to be heroes and, maybe just worry about, the shitty senators or something else. But again, there's innocent people dying here. And it's not like these Russians and Belarusians can't play hockey anymore. It's a bad look that you're saying this, you're contradicting each other. No, it's not like they can't play hockey anymore. There's bigger things in the world than hockey, that's for damn sure. But if you're a kid in Russia or Belarus, give your head a shake. You can still play hockey. And if you're going to defend them tooth and nail just because, you think it's unfair, I don't know. I need a little bit more reasoning. There's great stories of kids who have come over and, they've had to live terrible lives under dictators. They've come over, they have success, they make a living for themselves. Those are awesome stories. I love to see that. But, again, there's bigger things in the world right now than the sport of hockey. I'm sorry. Shout out to Basketball Podcast Network. Go Chicago Bulls. SodaPod says JT Miller can come to Minnesota. No more trade rumors. #elite. JT Miller, I think he would be a fine piece in Minnesota. I'm sorry. I don't think he's moving the needle yet, Soda Pod. Alrighty, we got to step aside. It's Cody Janzen, World Hockey Report. This has been a blast. We'll join the conversation a little bit later on. But hey, we got to catch up. Former NHLer Michael Leighton also he had his cup of coffee overseas. You know, we're going to ask him about that. Still to come on the show, Darryl Wolski, KHL player agent, will join. That's in about 20 minutes' time. Back after the break, everyone. Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking Between the Lags 360 Windmill Good. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If the sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take your shot at a big day payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy basketball contests. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call the TN Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-777 or visit ccp.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Take your game to the next level with Pro Rock hockey sticks. Pro Rock is changing the way we buy top-of-the-line twigs. They're lightweight, balanced, and provide the perfect kick point, whether you're a pro hockey player or a beer league legend. Pro Rock hockey sticks are made for you. They're at a price point you can't beat, so check them out today at prorock.com. Play like a Pro Rock.
Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking Between the Lags 360 Windmill Good. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If the sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take your shot at a big day payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy basketball contests. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call the TN Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-777 or visit ccp.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Take your game to the next level with Pro Rock hockey sticks. Pro Rock is changing the way we buy top-of-the-line twigs. They're lightweight, balanced, and provide the perfect kick point, whether you're a pro hockey player or a beer league legend. Pro Rock hockey sticks are made for you. They're at a price point you can't beat, so check them out today at prorock.com. Play like a Pro Rock.
What we do here is go back.
Cody Janzen, World Hockey Report. We are coming to you live from the Pro Rock Broadcast Studios. Joined now, former NHLer, minor leaguer as well. Michael Leighton joins me. He's got a new gig as well. We'll get into that. But Mike, obviously a lot going on in the world, and I want to ask, because you played in Ukraine and in 13-14 in the Continental Hockey League. You know, I want to know what your experience was in Ukraine with the culture. I've got family ties there, and just seeing the situation that they're in right now.
For me, it was actually a pretty neat experience. I've never been overseas or Europe. You know, I've traveled around Canada and the U.S., so it was my first time taking a flight over the water, and definitely a different lifestyle, different food. But you know, Donetsk was a great city, and I just enjoyed my time there and got to travel around Europe and see different parts of the world, and definitely enjoyed that part of it.
For sure. Michael Leighton here. Hey, let's talk about your career and breaking into the league. You played with the Spits in juniors, and you were a 6th-round draft pick. And I mean, you jump right into the American League right away, too, and you're a starter there. But what was draft day like for you? Was it an unexpected call, or did you think you were going higher than number 6th?
No, I didn't. I had Mike Liut as an agent, and I was thinking about going to the draft, and Mike just kind of said, well, we're not sure where you're going to go or if you're going to go, right? He goes, you know, I've seen a lot of kids travel to the draft and get crushed because they don't get picked up. So I stayed home, and during the draft, I actually was scrolling through the list on the internet when they actually had internet back then. You know, I saw my name, and about 5 minutes later, I got a call from the Chicago Blackhawks. So it was a pretty cool experience. I got to celebrate at home.
You played through some dog days in Chicago, too, but there were some awesome characters on that team. Hey, what was your welcome to the NHL moment? Like, what point, Mike, are you able to sit back and go, oh, damn, this is the National League now?
Wow, that's a good question. You know, I played a bunch of exhibition games my first couple of years, so I kind of got a little taste of it and got to know everybody. But I was playing in Norfolk for a few years, and I'm doing pretty well there, and I got a call, you know, from the GM saying, okay, you're going to fly in tomorrow into Chicago, and you're going to play the next night. Now you're getting your first start, so call your parents, call your girlfriend, call, you know, whoever, but you're starting this game. So, you know, I had a day and a half to prepare for it, which is great. I get in there, and I had a great game, and it was a 0-0 tie against the Phoenix Coyotes, and at the end of the game, Zach Burke actually gave me the puck. It was his first NHL shutout, but I think he knew it was my first NHL game and shutout, so he gave me the puck, which was pretty amazing for a guy to do that.
Geez, just cut it in half and share, Mike. You're getting selfish on us here. Hey, when you look back at your career, is the 2010 run the highlight of it, although it doesn't end up the exact way? Like, for you, do you consider that the best season that you had in the show?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I spent some time in Chicago, just, you know, not a great team. You know, I did love the city there, but got to Philly, just had a lot of success with the team. I ended up getting hurt, but came back in the playoffs, and it was just, you know, a great story to make it to the final. And like you said, it didn't end the way we wanted, but you know, it was definitely the highlight of my career, but also a disappointing ending. But I got to look back now that I'm retired. I could say, wow, you know, I was there, and great experience, and something I'll remember the rest of my life, definitely.
Can you walk the listeners through what changes in your mindset when you take on a role like that? Because you had never been on a long NHL playoff run before. You'd never, you know, played for a team that had Stanley Cup potential. Was it just something where it just clicked all of a sudden and you're like, hey, I can actually do this? Or did you have to make changes? Was there something that happened that, you know, flipped a switch for you?
No, not for me. That's one thing I think I did well in my career is I could, you know, just focus on the game. You know, if anyone ever said work harder to me, then that didn't mean anything. You can slap, you know, $50,000 in front of me and say, hey, have a great game tonight, but I'm going to play the same way I did every game. I tried to show up and prepare every game the same. So, you know, I think just during that run and with that team, we just clicked. You know, they felt good with me behind them, and I was good, you know, with them, and we just kind of gelled together. And for me, it was just play the same game and play consistent and make saves I had to make, and they did the rest. And it just kind of gelled together well, and you just kind of get in a rhythm once you start playing and feeling good. And, for me, even when I played in the minors in the AHL, I would play 3 games in 3 nights, and I would have my better game in the third night just because I felt comfortable out there. I might be a little bit tired, but I was seeing pucks well and very comfortable in the net. And I think that's what happened there, where you're playing every other night in the Stanley Cup Finals, or in the playoffs. So you just kind of get in a rhythm and feeling good, and you get your light practice time, but when you get in a game, you just carry on.
There, you heard it here first. If NHL did 3 and 3s, Mike Leighton was winning MVPs all day long.
I'd be a starter for life there.
Hey, let's talk about that team, because there were some characters on it, and everyone's got a funny story who played with Scotty Hartnell. You got to have one for me.
Yeah, he was definitely a character. I think the thing that pops in my head was we did like a little skills competition, fun game in Philadelphia at the Wachovia Center one night. Pretty much a sold-out building, and I don't know what they were doing. They were either doing promotional thing or TV timeout or something, and Scotty skated at center ice and started doing the Hulk Hogan, hold his hand behind his ear, and got the whole crowd going nuts. And that's just something like no one else would do that, right? Except for Scotty. He loved it, and obviously a great teammate there.
Entertainer, to say the least.
Yeah.
Hey, what was it like? You got to play in front of the Flyer faithful and some of their highest moments over the past 20 years. Like, walk me through what that crowd's like. Was there any other similar experiences you had, or was the Flyers crowd in the Stanley Cup Finals some of the loudest you ever played in?
It was definitely the loudest, one of the loudest buildings. That in Montreal, I think, were the loudest buildings I played in. But the fans were awesome. Right from the start of the playoffs, they had our backs. You couldn't drive anywhere without seeing a flag somewhere on a car or a house. You go out to a restaurant, you have people coming to you, asking for autographs and just saying good luck. And just the support behind you was amazing from the fans and the city. And definitely, like I said, the whole experience was amazing. Coming from a guy who's never played in the playoffs before to jumping into that was pretty incredible.
What's one place you wish you would have played? Like, you had a few stops in your career, but is there one team where you're like, damn, that would have been just the icing on the cake?
Well, I played for the majority of the league, but I would say just Toronto for me. I grew up a Maple Leaf fan. I don't want to say that too loud. Hope this isn't too many people watching this, but I grew up a Maple Leaf fan, hated Detroit, so that was kind of that rivalry, but I did get a chance to play in Toronto and play against them, and that was cool. But to put on the Maple Leaf jersey would have been pretty special for me, probably.
Figured Ontario kid, that makes sense. Hey, I got to ask one more story, though. You scrapped a couple of times, Jimmy Howard, a notable, but the one I got to ask about is Cam Warren in the minors. I guess it was an all-out melee in the jungle, or what? You got to tell the story.
Yeah, it was, I think it was Girl Guy cookie night or something. There was a bunch of kids in the crowd, which made it even worse. But a period ended. There was a couple scuffles, and then the coaches, Tom Rowe and Trent Yanni, end up swinging at each other, and a couple of the players were swinging at the coaches, and it just got pretty chaotic. Fights breaking out left and right, and every time a fight kind of broke out, everyone would rush over there to grab someone to make sure they didn't, sucker punch somebody and do whatever. So I was doing the same. I had my gloves off, and I would go grab like Chad LaRose and hold him by the jersey. And I knew he wasn't going to fight me, and I'm not going to fight him. And Wardo kind of came over to me it happened 2 or 3 times, and he came over and he's like, "Stop it. Don't do anything. Don't do anything." And I just kept saying, like, I'm not going to fight anybody. I'm just making sure no one gets hurt. And then finally he did it again, and he said it in a different manner. And I said, "All right, well, let's me and you fight." And he goes, "I'm not fighting you." And I just said, "Okay, well, we either fight right now, or as soon as the puck drops for the next period, I'm going to skate down and fight you then. So what do you want to do?" And as soon as I got done saying that, he grabbed my mask, and we got into the tussle. So it was a good little fight. And, I ended up playing with Wardo about 5 or 6 years later in Carolina. So it worked out good, and we're still friends to this day, so we can laugh at it now.
Good little fight that went on for a good 60 seconds.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had to get the story firsthand from you. Hey, Mike, I know you're out in Windsor still, and you just grabbed a new gig coaching with your old team. Was it something you always kind of wanted to get into, or was there a little convincing needed to be like, hey, you know what, we want you helping out in a coaching aspect, start with goalie coaching and see where we go from there, or what?
No, it's something I enjoy goaltending, and I enjoy learning more about it, and obviously enjoy doing it. When I retired, I opened my own Leighton Goalie Academy, so I'm teaching younger kids and helping out there. And the Spitfires, we just end up talking, and they needed some help, so I jumped in the role. And yeah, it's definitely something I want to keep progressing and try to make it to the NHL. They always say if you're good at something or whatever, you're interested in it, try to stick with it. So that's something I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of weird, I'm not playing anymore, and I still miss playing. But now that I get an opportunity to work with these kids and I'm with the team again, I feel like I'm kind of back in the game, which is exciting for me.
Well, that's awesome to hear. Hey, you do have Leighton Goalie Academy, though. Plug that. Are you running summer camps? Is there somewhere people can find you? I know you're on Instagram, but you got website, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Where can people connect with you?
Yeah, just Instagram. I'm not, doing anything crazy right now. I like doing small group training, so I usually only have 4 goalies on the ice at one time, and time is limited, I guess I could say, with my family activities and and now the Spitfires and doing training. So I only get out maybe a couple days a week. But definitely have a lot of goalies trying to rotate through and get everybody in and just help these kids out as much as I can.
Well, that's awesome to hear, Matt. Good. Glad you're doing well. Appreciate you taking the time here. Best of luck with everything in the future, and we'll connect down the road.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's Cody Janzen, World Hockey Report. We're back after the break. Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking Between the Lags 360 windmill good. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If the sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take your shot at a big day payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy basketball contests. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call the TN Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-777 or visit ccp.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Take your game to the next level with Pro Rock hockey sticks. Pro Rock is changing the way we buy top-of-the-line twigs. They're lightweight, balanced, and provide the perfect kick point, whether you're a pro hockey player or a beer league legend. Pro Rock hockey sticks are made for you. They're at a price point you can't beat, so check them out today at prorock.com. Play like a Pro Rock.
Here just go back.
There we go. Okay, we got some great stories out of Michael Leighton there. Appreciate him taking the time. Sorry, City Life, we didn't get your questions in there. We're on a little bit of a time constraint. I know he's got practice and everything he was getting to. So, it was a little bit of a busy one. We had to cram that in there, but we appreciate him taking the time today. I mean, I couldn't even imagine putting yourself in his shoes. And I appreciate him taking the time even just to answer a question on it about, playing in Ukraine and then seeing it after having an experience there where it's not like everyone who goes over to Europe has these amazing experiences playing overseas. But, for the guys who are like, hey, I actually did really enjoy it over there, it was something else for sure. Andrew, I do agree. Interesting little story. And I think it's a hilarious story, the Cam Ward one. I knew about it for a while. I knew Wardo from the Red Deer days, and absolute legend. And I guess him and Leighton just teed up. There's a video of it somewhere. I don't know if it's on Twitter. Maybe I'll find it and we'll post it after. But Girl Guide Cookie Night, the coaches are fighting. Guys are swinging their sticks. It was a melee back in the old American Hockey League days. Hey, we're still trying to connect with Darryl Wolski. We will get him on the show, hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so. We'll get some insight on the KHL and what's going all about there. But we do have more NHL stuff to talk about. And so everyone is still saying, I guess, that... the CHL is planning on banning Russian, Belarusian imports. I texted a couple of people during the break there. They haven't heard anything differently. Wardo from the New Days Kaiser. Yeah, not that many people know about that, the Red Deer days. But, hey, I mean... Going back to the news of the day, it does sound like Russian and Belarusian players will be limited from playing in the leagues. I'm not exactly sure. I was talking before about that. It might not even be a CHL decision come next year. It might be a government decision where those players can't get visas to play. So... yeah, go and subscribe to the City Life Project as well. Shout out to them. Great music there. I still got to update the music. I say it every week. I really got to get some new beats in here. Definitely big into all of that. I don't know if anyone else is into that type of music, that type of stuff. But yeah, we do try switch it up here on World Hockey Report a little bit. One of the interesting things, and I'm curious to see because it got a little bit of traction on social media, is a European Super League in the hockey world possible? Is something with Jokerit leaving, with Dynamo Riga leaving, is that something possible? Otis's legendary content cop. Yeah, I agree, City Life. But again, we've been rocking with it for a while. I don't know the whole copyright issue. If we just pull out some Super Gremlin bass or something from Kodak, are we gonna get canceled? I don't know. I don't want to go off of the rails here and all of a sudden get the Hockey Podcast Network in trouble because I don't know how to follow rules. So I don't know. Maybe YouTube, maybe Facebook, maybe someone can help us out here. Interesting dynamic though. If a European Super League would actually work. Dylan, I will hit you up with that. But I'm just thinking of, the biggest teams. I know Jokerit's got their own issues with Russian owners, ranks, whatever. Yes, we will be demonetized. Okay, well, there we go. I guess that's why I can't do it. But Dynamo Riga, think of Helsinki, Bern, Berlin, Gothenburg. There's so many great locations in Europe that they could literally have a super league, essentially, that would be like the KHL. And, I mean, it's not like it's going to rival the NHL, but it would definitely be a step up from the American Hockey League. And again, I don't know. I think there's an untapped market for European players, for North American players going over there. I'm curious about that. I would watch it, too. I mean, I think there's a lot of North Americans that would be into that. I think that's definitely something where the NHL could see themselves grow their game while others cough, cough, the MLB. I don't know if we can take more shots of them in this show, just like Cody Ceci. Hey, Andrew, Cody Ceci would be a great fit for sure. What came first, the dangles or the Pro Rock stick? Well, the dangles definitely came first. I'm not going to say how old I am, but again, it's Pro Rock. They're a Winnipeg company. They're good Canadian people. And, man, Corey and Elena are just the best. I don't know if, again, if you're a hockey player, what's one of the biggest issues is that, if you're say you break a hockey stick, it's $300, $350 plus. It's outrageous how much hockey sticks for top-of-the-line sticks are going for. And that's why, what really hit it off with us in Pro Rock was I fully believe in the product. And everyone's going to say that, oh, I fully believe in it, oh, I use it. I got 3 Pro Rock sticks right there. I would never, just absolutely go on here and shoot bullshit at something I didn't believe on. Pro Rock is great. They're at an incredible price point where I think it's about $160 or so. Don't quote me on that. Go on. They got sales all the time and everything. You guys can figure it out. But again, you're getting a top-of-the-line stick for a middle to low-line price. And the quality is second to none. I mean, I'm not this unbelievable hockey player. My hockey stick was $500. First goal, I got 5 goals and a 6-0 win. Well, Jacob, I don't know where you found a $500 stick. I think some store really screwed you over. But 5 goals, that's impressive. Andrew says, do I like Steve Dangles? See, there's a fascination with, this is going to sound rhetorical, hockey YouTubers that I just never got into. There's the Steve Dangles, the On the Bench crew. I mean, that Trav 4 Oilers kid. There's a lot of these people who, everyone's like, oh, you got to watch them. You got to watch them. They're hilarious. I don't know. I just don't have time of day for them. Maybe that's my own personal taste, but must be some Ontario shop. Yeah, Jacob's definitely in the Ontario shop. But oh, yeah, the City Life Project, of course, the Hockey Podcast Network. I'll watch that. But I wasn't meaning like a network or anything. Like, it's not a shot like Steve Daniels. He's like the Sportsnet stuff. Now, it's the Bar Down crew. Like, it's not a shot at the network. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and listen to someone scream about the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Ottawa Senators or whatever, their failed minor hockey career. I don't know. I want some sort of information, or I want entertainment. And by entertainment, I don't know. I don't, again, that's a totally different tangent of what I watch and what I don't watch. But again, if you guys got new Netflix suggestions, I am all for that. I'll sit down and watch a TV show. Not a problem. YouTube content, I don't mind for. Not going to show the comment I paid for. Oh, the City Life Project. So I saw that I got the donation there. I appreciate that. I'd shoot you a message off screen. So I don't use StreamYard or Restream. So I don't blow up the comments. I guess that's a fun fact I can throw out there. Sorry, City Life Project, but I do have to give you a shout out. I seen that tip. Appreciate you. But so I don't blow up the comments at all. It's a rolling ticker. It's a conversation that I want to fly. Like, the best shows are when the conversation's going too fast for me to catch up on, and it's the people watching who are really engaging in it, because that's what I want. I want the viewers to engage. Just the tip, eh, Dylan? Yeah, I want the viewers to engage. Like, this is a conversation show, because if you're able to, expand your thoughts, expand what you're thinking, what you're reading, that's success to me. That's success if I can get people talking and having a civil conversation. I mean, if there's guys being asshats and all of a sudden I got to, block someone, we've had it before. That's fine. I can go on the Restream comments and choose who I want to limit. But at the end of the day, it's something where we've always done that with World Hockey Report. We're always open for conversation. Doesn't matter if it's a sensitive topic. We're here to talk about all that stuff. And that's why I don't mind getting into it a little bit when people say, well, should Ovi speak up or should he not? 60 days in, Jacob. I haven't heard of that one. What's 60 days in? Give me the spark notes, Jacob, of what 60 days in is. Oh, I've received 100 messages today with the Restream chat. There we go, guys. It's a big Wednesday. My bandweight wrote 100% worth it. There you go. City Life, Isha, shout out you guys. You're the best. I'm interested, though, and again, we can spark back up the conversation. I know it went right away. Do you think these Russian players should speak up more? Do you think Ovechkin said enough? I mean, being frank, I think he did. I agree. There's a part of me that wants him to go all out and, unleash everything that we want him to say. But there's an also aspect where, hey, if he does, he's probably putting his family's life at risk or his friends and all that. So if you don't have them out of the country, yeah, you're probably right. You can't go crazy and say all that. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Andrew, see you. I'm heading back, Cody. See you soon. Hey, Wednesday, every day at noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Jacob says it's a jail show. 60 days in. I'm not big on jail shows, but I'll give it an episode watch, Jacob. We'll come back Wednesday, and we'll hit the round table on that. Good comedies. I'm all here for that. Amazing Race. I just got back into that after like a 15-year hiatus. That seems pretty electric after that COVID pause. I'm all for new TV shows. That's if I'm not sitting around or going for a walk listening to podcasts, I'm always interested in learning something. An interesting one, I forget what it's on. It's Chernobyl. That's oh man, I forget what streaming platform, but if you watch it, go check it out. Kenny versus Spenny, that's a classic. Oh, Dylan says Ovi's a hockey player. He doesn't have that responsibility. Like you said, he's putting himself and family at risk by saying anything. I 100% agree. All 4K now. Wow. Interesting. Kenny versus Spenny. I might have to go check that out. Yeah, I agree with the Ovi comments where it's, hey, you know what? No war. I want peace. I fully understand that. I wish, I guess in a perfect world where I think I could sit back and say, hey, I'm fully happy, is if Ovechkin could get his family and friends out there and say, hey, you know what? I supported Putin in the past. I made a mistake. I think that would keep a lot of people happy. Andrew, I like funny movies. Funny over scary all days of the week. I'm also surprised that not more Russians have spoken up. And maybe it is because they are afraid for their families. And if they are, again, that's the one valid excuse that you really can't argue. But it's not like you have to take a shot at Putin here. You have to take a shot at, I want world peace. This ain't world peace. It's not that hard. Shout out to the Ukrainian Bellator and boxing champion on the other side, vacating the belts and going to a career fight on the front lines. I seen something about that. I don't know his name. I can't pronounce his name. End of the day, that's a badass move. There's been a lot of people that step up, and I guess that's kind of a whole newfound respect for Ukrainians. You know, and then there's the other side that wants to say, oh, well, Ukraine's done scummy things. They've done this. They've done that. Well, hasn't all countries? If we want to go back and start banning and disowning countries for scummy things that they did, I mean, we're going back to Canada. Whose land are we on? You know, we're going back to Germany. Should they ever be allowed to compete again? You know, there is things that happen that change the whole course of the world. And I think that Ukrainians sticking up for themselves right now, saying, hey, we want to become European Union. We're going to take steps to be better. Our leader, Zelensky, you know, is changing kind of the way our people are right now. I think that's a step in the right direction for Ukraine, and I respect the hell out of that. Andrew says, how old did you play hockey? How old did I play hockey? I mean, I started when I was, I don't know, 2 or 3. I hated skating. Fun fact, I would just play hockey in my boots. You know, I'd rock winter boots on the ODR. I didn't want to skate. That's why I'm a terrible skater to this day. And then competitive hockey, oh, geez, 6 years ago, I think. You know, probably the last time. Well, the last, you know, the minor pro game overseas. Yeah, definitely 6 years ago, little senior after that. So I am not some hockey expert for sure. I'm not going to go out there and, you know, teach Ovechkin how to take a one-timer or McDavid how to skate, but I got to play some hockey. It was fun. It was a good one. Another interesting conversation. I guess you can just throw a yes, no ball hockey for the win. See, if there was ball hockey on the farm, I would have been an absolute champion. But another question here as we wrap things up on World Hockey Report for the day. The Paralympics are coming up. Sledge hockey is elite. We're going to get some of these guys on after the show as we do every year. I love sledge hockey. Canada, USA sledge hockey. Every single, you know, give me that rivalry. These guys go out there and beat the absolute brakes off of each other. They're tough. They're tough SOBs as well. So yes, I will watch Canada Paralympic hockey any day of the week. It's absolutely electric. But I'm a little confused as to why Russia and Belarus are allowed in when the IOC is saying we're telling everyone not to let these athletes go. And they're like, oh, well, they're just going to play as a neutral team. They're going to wear the Paralympic flag. They're not going to have an anthem. They're not going to be able to, you know, stand on the podium, whatever. Why let them play? Why not say, hey, screw it. Stay home. We don't want you here. The world doesn't want you here. We know you're not responsible for war, but you have to be held responsible for, you know, or someone has to be held accountable. And if that means it does cause a little bit of pain towards the leaders in charge. That's how the sanctions are. It's no different than them shutting down banks and them shutting down Apple Pay, Netflix, whatever. It's little things that add up to the whole accountability standpoint. Andrew, do I have a favorite team or a player? I've always said I don't have a favorite team. I mean, I would say that, Adam, if you're ever reading something on World Hockey Report, shout out at World Hockey RPT on Twitter. If you're ever reading something that's like, oh, this team, it's usually the Oilers, and it's usually Adam tweeting about it. As a kid, I loved the Flames. I was a huge Mika Kiprusoff fan. I was a huge Jerome McGinley fan. Roman Turek. Inject all of that into me. Freddie Brathwaite. Yeah, you're freaking right. I love all of that about the old school Flames. New school NHL. I don't know. I mean, I like Jonathan Quick. I really like Jonathan Quick and Tim Thomas. You know, the last time I could say I had true fandom for a player or a team, it was definitely Jonathan Quick and Tim Thomas. You know, as a former goalie, I think those two guys they didn't change, the way that I played per se, but they changed my attitude towards the position. You didn't have to be this perfect positioning, this boring goaltender, this boring hockey player. No, there was excitement. There was entertainment. Quick was all over the place. Thomas was all over the place. They weren't afraid to run their mouths. They weren't afraid to slash, hack, whack, lay the body. I thought that was just interesting about them. And that was one of the things that really brought me back into the NHL as a fan of the league, as a fan of the game. City Life, yeah, I love Minnesota and Vancouver. I've always wanted to rank my least favorite teams from top to bottom, but I think I'd just be sitting here hitting my head on a wall. I don't know. I don't hate Minnesota. I hate the idea of this average team that never does anything successful. They're just Minnesota. They get hosed by a Russian kid who played this fake, I'm going to go play in the, KHL card. Sure, he's a good player, but again, the rest of the team, I don't know. I don't know about that. And then Vancouver, I just can't stand Vancouver fans and media in general. I think they're some of the most condescending people out there who are the ones why players hate it there. The players like, we're sick of the rumors. You hate Billy G. Billy Guerin as a player was awesome. As a GM, actually, I listened to that interview he did on Chicklets, and that was fine. I didn't mind that one with Billy Guerin. I think he's an interesting person. Shout out to him for signing the 10K Takes poster or whatever they got there. Andrew, he's a Leafs fan. His favorite player is Austin Matthews. Man, okay, quickly, we got 1 minute here. Everyone, let me know in the conversation here. Draisaitl or Matthews? Who are you taking? Just the last question of the day. This is where we're going to leave it at. Draisaitl or Matthews? Let's finish it off with that. We'll give you a second to get them in, and we'll wrap it up. Huge thanks again. Shout out 10K again. Shout out City Life. Huge thanks again, though, to former NHLer Michael Leighton for hopping on the show. We will connect with Darryl Wolski down the road. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. There's an interesting conversation. Maybe we'll just get his thoughts on, some of the stuff going on over there. One of the interesting questions, and I've heard different rumors right now, is can KHL players even access their money, or did they just play this full season for free? So that's an interesting one. Maybe we'll find out a way to get him on later on. But, okay, City Life says Matthews. Sodapont says Matthews 100%. I'm going to assume Andrew's going to say Matthews as well. So, Oilers fans, sorry about that. I don't know. Who do you take, Matthews or Draisaitl? Matthews has that shot. Draisaitl's got the playmaking ability. I think if you're a team, you go with Matthews because he's marketable. You can make more money off of that. If you're strictly the player, the clutchness, going off of Matthews' playoff performances, and I know Draisaitl's hasn't been pretty, but I think I'll take Draisaitl playing wise. Andrew, I was a goalie. That's not a weird one either. We won't stick at that. Alrighty, everyone. Hey, if you missed any of the conversation, go download the podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Quackstats, the most advanced player tracking technology. Shout out to Pro Rock Hockey Sticks. The best broadcast booth is where we're coming to you from. World Hockey Report every Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here, right now. Follow me on Twitter at Jan31_ on the show at World Hockey RPT. Until next time, everyone, be kind, be better.